The brain, an amazing piece of equipment, nature's most wonderful creation, is perhaps the most valuable gift that mankind has ever received. Capable of storing data beyond any known hardware limitation, the functioning of the brain has perplexed neuroscientists all over the world. So, what happens inside our brain? How does it function? A very good evening to one and all present here. I am Hari.
And I am Nidal.
And today, by using the concepts of the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the VijnanaKarma25 Yoga, in unison with modern day neurosciences, we present to you the path to knowledge. Expanding the mind involves acquiring knowledge, and acquiring this knowledge involves a process of constant learning combined with the inner and outer disciplines of the human mind. Shreyo hi jnanamabhyasat jnanadhyanam vishishyate dhyanad karma phalatyagas tyagastantiranantaram. So how do we acquire this knowledge? Well, it turns out that the process of knowledge acquisition involves 4 steps. Primarily, practice. Regular and constant practice of your learning material is essential. This helps cultivate an understanding of concepts by making necessary connection with previously known facts. Furthermore, we should reflect on this understanding gathered. Finally, application of this knowledge for societal benefits and welfare, or shortly put, for selfless goals, concludes the process of knowledge acquisition. Tat viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas-tattvadarshinaha.
Let us have a look at the outward aspects of knowledge acquisition. The outward aspects of knowledge acquisition includes 3 factors: respect for the knowledge and knowledge sources, the habit of inquiry, the willingness to apply the knowledge that we obtained in an unselfish and unprejudiced manner.
Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatpara samyatendriyaha jnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati.
Knowledge acquisition roots from a much deeper cause. The inner aspects of knowledge acquisition include 3 factors: faith in the efficacy, validity, existence of knowledge, and the capability of the learner and the teacher. Interest and curiosity to look around, to think and wonder about new things. Self-control to put in effort, set priorities, set higher goals, and strive to achieve those.
Now, let us have a look at our brain, the brain.
It appears rather gruesome, wrinkled like a walnut, and with the consistency of mushroom. For centuries, scientists have been battling to understand what this unappealing object is all about. The philosopher Aristotle of ancient Greece believed that the brain helped regulate the body's temperature. A runny nose was the cooling fluid leaking out of the brain. He reasoned that since the heart beat faster when you were excited, it must be responsible for our feelings and thoughts. It's easy to laugh at him now, but Aristotle was the first person to think seriously about how the human body worked. We've come a long way since the 4th century BC. Now we can actually see inside a living brain. Medical scanners prove the brain is indeed where we think and feel. When a particular area of my brain is working hard, extra blood flows there through my arteries to provide energy for the active nerve cells. The scanner can detect these changes in blood flow, giving us a completely new window into the fascinating world of the mind. Using this technique, we can actually watch the brain work. Here, I'm listening to music. Not one, but several areas light up. This part of the brain is where we process all sounds, and this is where we appreciate music. Amazingly, there are even separate bits for melody, for rhythm, and for pitch. But what's actually happening deep inside the brain? It's a fascinating story, but it's complicated. It all starts with this tree-like structure, a single brain cell or neuron. Here is an actual neuron magnified 10,000 times. Neurons are the tiny building blocks of the brain. They do something remarkable which prompts all our thoughts. They fire an electrical impulse. Amazingly, we can now see one firing. This is the first time it's been shown on television. The electricity is bursting along the neuron at 400 kilometers an hour. Here we're seeing it in slow motion. Within a tiny fraction of a second, it's ready to fire again. Your brain has a staggering 100 billion of these neurons. Together, they could generate enough electricity to illuminate a light bulb. To make things more complicated still, the branches of each neuron are connected to thousands of other neurons. It's hard to grasp the sheer scale of all these connections. Imagine a bustling city the size of New York. Give every person in that city 10,000 pieces of string. Tell each person to attach each piece of string to a different person. Now make the city 1,000 times bigger. This is the incredible tangle we call the brain. And there's more. Go deeper into this tangle, travel along a single neuron, and take a close look at the junction with its neighbor. Oddly, the neurons are not physically joined together at all. There's a tiny gap. To bridge this gap, the neurons release minute quantities of chemicals every time they fire. Chemical go-betweens that influence our thoughts.
So, what do we understand? Ultimately, the apparatus that helps us gain knowledge is our brain, which is molded by the processes that we have learned from the Bhagavad Gita cited earlier. Regularity and constant practice makes neuronal connections strong, thus strengthening memory. Concepts already learned are connected to newer wires, thereby strengthening, expanding knowledge. When we feel and think, blood flow inside the brain is enhanced. So, as we saw earlier, respect and self-belief enhances interest and focus in the material studied. A culture of respect is needed for inquiry-based learning. Inquisitiveness helps make new connections in the brain because the neurons that fire together wire together. As we apply knowledge, more and more connections get wired. The more times a connection fires, the more it gains in connection strength. The stronger the connection, the faster the firing rate. This contributes immensely to increased memory retention and faster recall. Let us now look at how the brain learns.
As for every single one of us, learning something new means rearranging the way our brain works. Our brain has an astonishing 100 billion neurons, or brain cells, all connected together. Learning is about creating and strengthening pathways through these neurons that impulses of electricity. But between each and every connection in our brains, there's a tiny gap called a synapse. For any of us to learn something new, the electrical signal has to jump across this gap to continue its journey. Brain cells is tiny, but that doesn't mean it's straightforward for a signal to get from one side to the other. For us, it's like crossing a deep ravine. And getting from one side to the other should tell us something about the way we learn. The first time a signal crosses from one brain cell to the other demands the most effort, and it's the same when we cross our ravine. The first trip across it is the hardest. The ravine once, the journeys across get easier and easier. And a similar thing happens when we learn something. To start with, learning is difficult. But as the signal crosses the gap between the brain cells again and again, we establish a more solid pathway. By the time we've made the crossing over and over again, it becomes effortless. We can do it whenever we like.